Talk a little louder.
No, that's perfect.
All right, cool.
And I can fix it in the post anyway.
Post? Nice.
Yeah, no, we have post capabilities on this show. I don't know if you realize how serious it is out here, but we have post.
That's showbiz if I ever heard of it.
A lot of the a lot of the lesser podcasters, they only have pre.
Wait, if post is in the budget.
Post is in the budget, and I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I have a MacBook Pro.
Well,
yeah, that's just.
I didn't know you got a degree in MacBooks.
I mean, this was actually a gift from my dad for graduating college. Actually, no, I think this was for getting into college.
You get gifts for that?
Hey, if you got a dad like me, yeah.
Congrats, yeah. You started.
He said we didn't think you could do it. That's what happens when you get into University of West Florida, North Florida. That might have been the only. Oh, FGCU.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah, I got into every middling school that I applied for.
Dude, I applied for one school and one school only, and that was Palm Beach State College. Fucking 13th grade.
Go Panthers.
Yeah, go Panthers, dude. I went there for like 2 years and then gave it all up for broke, starving artist life, I guess. For sure.
It's sometimes you're broke and starving, and then you go, I guess I should be an artist to make this worth it.
Yeah, or else it's sad, dude. I was a couple fucking missed payments away from being homeless a couple times.
And that's going to be so good on your Behind the Music when you're telling that story.
Like he was eating bagels and fucking dollar beers for a year until he finally got a job at Trader Joe's.
That's the first album, Dollar Beers for a Year.
Dude, that's a bar if I ever heard one.
All right, well, I mean, I might as well start off by introducing, because the viewers at home may notice this is not Max.
Yeah, no, my name is not Max.
No, this is, I mean, do you want to be Kpasa? Do you want to be Chris? Like, we could bleep
it. I'll go by
it.
both. We can go, I go by Chris, Kpasa, Kpos.
There's so many.
There's so
many ways you could go with it.
Yeah, dude. I got a few out there.
Well, I wasn't sure because I was telling Corbin before recording, I was like, depending on how many stories he's tell, we might have to go gangland and blur your face and deepen. I don't know how much deeper the voice can get, but we'll have to see in post.
Fix it in post.
Yeah.
That's why it's in the budget.
So we might. But we got Kpasa in the building here for a DJ set.
Yeah. Playing a show tonight over at Orchid Lady.
It'll be too late by the time.
It's gonna be too late. You should have been there.
But you guys can watch the. Are you gonna put that on a Snap or your Instagram?
I think
memories?
We're filming it.
Oh,
so
nice!
It'll be out there eventually.
Guys, watch that shit because
we gotta check. We gotta fix it in post.
Yeah. I think. No, it's a damn shame that Max isn't here today because you have to be one of the most interesting, and you're kind of like. You're like one of the lost family member from the Shameless family, kind of.
I could see that. They're like my distant cousins.
That's you, because I
relate to them.
Every time I get a call from you, I'm like, this is either going to be the biggest triumph story or the biggest tragedy.
It's one or the other, dude. It's black or white a lot of times.
He's either trapped under a burning car,
yeah,
or he's like, I'm in a mansion with nothing but models.
I'm either like almost in jail or like I find $1,000 on the floor. Like I never find $1 on the floor.
No,
it's not. It's nothing chill like that.
It's high highs and low lows.
Yeah, it's just a fucking roller coaster of emotions most of the time. I've been chilling out, honestly. I've been staying good, staying focused on what I'm trying to do.
Yeah.
But before I was a little off the rockers, I'd say that.
For sure. I think
I just like to watch the world burn sometimes.
Yeah. You were in your Joker era.
Yeah, like, did I do that? Fuck. So now I'm like, you know what? We'll just sit up. As my mom says, you sit on your hands,
Yeah.
She would always tell us that when we were younger.
Well, that's how you can act like someone else is jacking you off when you masturbate.
Yeah. I guess that's the form.
Yeah. It's called the friendly stranger, I think.
The what? Oh,
when you sit on your hands and then till they're numb, and then You wouldn't know. You usually have someone else doing that.
For me, that was the sign I was about to get spanked by a sandal if I fucking did something else. Sit on your hands. Go over there.
By a chancleta.
A chancleta, bro. I get fucking PTSD from them things.
Yeah. No, my mom, I talked about this on the last episode, but my mom this is like the white version of that. You know, the paddle ball with the ball and string on it? My mom cut the string and we just used that. It was just paddle,
So
no
ping pong paddle?
Yeah, basically.
Dude.
That's got to be the white. Like, that's like one step down from like getting spanked with a slinky.
Yeah. Can't really fuck around with the flip flop.
No.
We'll grab the paddle out
Yeah.
the drawer.
Exactly. But how would you say, like, when do you think you started, like, living such a tumultuous... yeah.
I think it's when I moved out here to New York in 2019. I got like a 5-year relationship throughout high school and college. I was like, you know what? I'm going to move to New York.
Yeah.
And dog off the leash syndrome just kind of came out here and
Nothing but chaos.
was Florida boy for a little bit.
And that's where you start, because you had beef with homeless people out here.
Yeah, I got to, yeah, dude. Do not own a home around me sometimes, bro. Yeah, no, there's a few altercations, I would say. I've gotten better. I did my due diligence like a couple months ago. I was getting gas after work late night. It was like 1 a.m. And this guy, he was out there asking for money. I was like, nah. And then he came in the store after me like he was my boy. And then the guy started yelling at him, and I felt bad. I was like, bro, he's whatever.
So, so you kind of like you took him under your wing a little bit.
No, I straight up, I bought 3 tall boys. I went out there. He was hanging out with a Mexican who only spoke Spanish. This guy, he was a giant 6'4" dude, and he couldn't talk. His voice was so fucked from drinking alcohol. He was like, blah, 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 blah. So there I was translating between the Mexican homeless guy and this other homeless guy, and we just sat and drank tall boys for like 20 minutes. And I was like, you know what? I donated my time for the year.
You bridged the gap.
I bridged the gap, dude. I gave him both some Doritos and like $5 each, and I just left.
They probably would have went to war without that.
I gave him some blankets too out of my car.
Really?
Yeah, it was cold that night.
Oh, that's really nice of you, actually.
Yeah, so that made up for about the 4 fights I've gotten into with the homeless.
Yeah, because what was the first... what started it all? Because you had a pretty straight beef with
annoying homeless people that want to be obnoxious and loud. Like, I just don't like loud people most of the time.
Yeah.
And when you're on a packed train and people come in just doing too much, like... The one specific time where like I almost got into it with this homeless guy, I was taking the L train home from Manhattan back to Bushwick, and it was over by like First Ave stop, and I stopped by Papaya Dog because I would work 5 days straight and get off 2 days, so I would buy a giant papaya juice for my tequila for the weekend to mix.
For sure.
Yeah, and it's good juice, you know. So there I was on the train. And this guy comes on. I saw him all the time, bro. He would come on just bitching about homeless people problems that don't apply to anyone except him. He would come on. He's like, excuse me, anybody? Does anyone have $1, $5? No one pays attention to him. And he's like, oh, okay. With your iPhones and your AirPods. And this guy's got juice. He pointed at me.
Yeah.
Dude, that was the wrong day to try my juice.
No, I mean, is there a right day to try you?
No. Papaya Dog's great, bro. I'll fucking back Papaya Dog.
For sure.
Now
you're talking shit about Papaya Dog?
And I snapped on him. I was like, you know what? I was like, bro, you're on here every night just bitching about your problems that nobody cares about. Everyone here is coming from work. Bro, go somewhere else. Get a job and fucking leave. And he's like, what'd you say to me? I said, get the fuck out of my face and off this train right now, bro.
Yeah.
And he said, oh, okay. We're going to deal with you down south. And he fucking walked off the train. And everyone was quiet looking at me like, yeah, no, that needed to happen.
That's because you were the train hero.
I was the Peter Parker in the situation.
But you had him tied up in your web.
Yeah. I've yet to be dealt with down south. I'm still waiting for it.
And that's the thing, because you've been back down south.
I've been back down south, just looking over my shoulder for this homeless guy. But there was a couple other ones. I was getting off the train over off Myrtle Broadway, and for some reason, these this collective of homeless people had a whole living room set on Myrtle Street on Broadway.
Yeah.
In the street, dude. Whole living room, sectional couch, dining room table, everything. I thought it was hilarious. They're both passed out on the couch. I'm like, let me take a photo. This is fucking crazy. And the lady woke up and she's like, "Hey, what you doing?" I was like, "No, you're good. I'm just relax."
Well, you're taking a photo of them?
I was taking a photo of them.
Yeah.
I document. I mean, come on.
You're a documentarian.
It's a full living room on Broadway Street. It's a busy ass street, bro.
For sure.
They just set up shop.
Yeah.
And then so she's like, "Yo, Harold," trying to wake up the other guy. He's on drugs, nodded out, like just done.
Yeah.
And I was like, "All right, let's go." And we're walking down like half the block, and all of a sudden I hear, "Hey!" And I turn around. There's a fucking Smirnoff bottle coming at my head that this girl threw.
Yeah.
And it was like coming at me. She got good aim, and I dodged it real quick. I dodged out of the way, but this guy was walking behind me and smashed on his feet.
Oh no.
And he was tripping. And she was still coming at me, and I had my skateboard, and I popped my skateboard up, grabbed by the truck, and I was like, "Yo, you fucking crazy bitch, blah, blah." And I was like, I'm not about to hit a homeless person with a skateboard.
No.
Over a living room set.
For sure, over a photo.
So I kind of just barked and scared her a little bit. But yeah, me and the homeless don't really got good rep.
No.
They got a wanted poster for me at this point.
I mean, it is crazy how he knew that you were down south. Like, I don't know
who he's got down south. It scared me a little bit, but I had to hold my own. I had my papaya juice. Just trying to get home. Drink my tequila in peace.
You're like, yeah. You looked like for a second you thought of challenging him, but then you looked down at your papaya juice and you went, "I got too much to lose."
Dude, it was like a 40-ounce juice. Bro. I had a 40 of papaya juice.
Well, that's just enough to get you through the weekend.
Yeah, I rationed it out.
Yeah.
I used to.
No. And then not to backtrack a little bit, because you're in town for the show. You flew in, and I was texting with you when you got in today, and I or not today, but whatever, that the day you got in, and I wake up to a text of you being like, "Yo, homie, I just landed," and then the next text, "The flight attendant just ripped the vape out straight from my hands. I'm about to get arrested." I was like, "How is it?"
Bro.
Because we know when Poss comes to New York, trouble is about to be caused. I didn't realize as soon as touchdown.
I didn't even touch down, dude.
What?
So what happened was, I like to get a little inebriated before flights, I'd say, just to pass out.
Yeah, for sure.
So that's what happened. At first started, let me backtrack to the Fort Lauderdale airport. We show up. I brought all these tequila shooters with me because I ain't trying to pay for that fucking airport prices.
Fuck that. How many do you bring?
I got a sleeve of 12.
Okay, 12 sleeves.
12 for $12.
For sure.
Pretty good deal.
Yeah.
So then we get to the airport, immediately get to TSA, and just like rip 4 shots, me and my buddy, and we're waiting for my other buddy to show up at the airport. So,
so through TSA, or are you like taking the shoes off, ripping some?
I think the shoes were coming back on. I was sitting down, and I took my backpack. I was like, "Yo."
For sure.
And then we got some time to kill over there, like an hour early. So what we do? We go to the airport bar, and I'm sitting there, and I'm starting to feel it. I'm like, "All right, cool. Get a beer." And I sit next to this like grandma and this mom, and the grandma's like 80-something years old, and like I move over a seat so they could sit with me. And all of a sudden, like, me and the grandma start hitting it off, dude. She was from the UK.
Yeah.
Those accents really get me going, man.
Oh, you were kind of feeling some, like, fireworks between
Yeah, no, there was a spark. There was a spark for sure. She's about 85 years old.
I mean, that's...
But it was the Manchester accent that got me.
Age is just a number.
And I'm talking her up, man. I'm just like, I love a good random conversation. And by the end of it, she's like, if I was 20 years younger... I was like, if I was 20 years older, dude, like we'd go to the bathroom right now.
Yeah, fuck it.
So
that so that kind of answers my question, but I was wondering, like, what had that 5th tequila shot come into play?
It did come into play. I ran in the bathroom and ripped before.
So, how many away were you from, honestly, if she offered to fuck in the bathroom?
I mean, I probably, at that point, 5 tequila shots in, probably gonna be a water hose if I tried.
Yeah. Oh, that's true.
You know.
That keeps you honest, honestly.
Yeah, no, very. I know when I can and when I can't.
Yeah.
5 tequila shots in, having sex with the grandma in the airport bathroom, probably gonna take a minute. To be honest. So,
were you FLL or MIA?
FLL.
Yeah.
Dude, no, I don't. Miami Airport's just like a gate to hell, dude.
It's a mess.
I get anxiety every time I'm there.
It's like everything I hate about going to the mall times 1,000.
But you're in Miami and everyone's just like cutting everybody off. So that's just setting the background of how juiced I was getting on this plane.
For sure.
All right, so I go on the plane.
Yeah.
Also took an edible at the airport too.
Yeah.
It's like this game of like how fast could we pass out on this 3-hour flight?
Yes.
So I pass out pretty quick. I wake up to the flight attendant giving out sodas. I'm like, wake up. I get a Pepsi, which I'm a Coke guy. So I had to deal with the Pepsi.
So right away you're pissed off.
Yeah, ticked off, man. Ticked off. I'm the kind of guy, if you go to a restaurant and you're like, hey, can I get a Coke? They're like, oh, we have Pepsi. Is that okay? No, it's not okay. Give me a water with lemon. I'll hold my own right there.
Now I'm healthy.
Yeah.
Oh, you want to serve me Pepsi? Now I'm going to be healthy.
Dude, you fucked up with this
now
fucking Pepsi product. So maybe get a Dr. Pepper if they got that, but usually water with lemon.
Is Dr. Pepper a Pepsi product?
Dr. Pepper is neutral, dude. They go either or.
Oh, they're Switzerland.
Yeah, they just want the bag, dude. Yeah. They don't care who you're about.
That's kind of how I am, honestly. I can be friends with everybody.
I'm Dr. Pepper as fuck, dude. I'm a pepper man.
For sure. That's why he's a doctor. He's not messing around.
He got his PhD in pepper.
For sure. Hey.
So I wake up to the girl giving me a Pepsi. I take one sip. I immediately spill it all over my lap. There's got Pepsi on my lap. The girl next to me is like, "Are you okay?" I was like, "I'm fine." She's like, "Do you want me to ask for napkins?" I was like, "Yeah, please."
Was she hot?
No, it was more like a cool auntie kind of vibe.
Okay,
she was looking out. She's looking out for me. So yeah, this boy got Pepsi all over his shit. Mm-hmm. So, I immediately am like, well, I'm up now. So I go and my friend's got a seat open next to him, and it was mad turbulence. So for an hour in, you couldn't get up out of your plane, or you're gonna get yelled at. And I was trying to keep a low profile at this point.
You already were worried that they might be upset with you.
So there I was. Go back to his seat, and I sit down with him, and we're in the back of the plane, which is like the back of the bus. You know, you're chilling back there.
That's where all the goofballs
are. Dude, they said
you guys are like crunching up papers. The
thing is, so he was the window. There's a guy in the aisle, so I had to go and be like, "Hey, can I sit in the middle, like, and fuck your shit up right now and annoy you?" Which I did, and then, I had my little vape on me too, tobacco, nicotine.
Yeah, for sure.
So I was hitting it, but I was hitting it low key, and then it gets to the end of the flight, and the girl's like, "All right, put up your tray tables. Let me get your trash," and he had a cocktail, so I was holding the cocktail. I didn't look good. I was holding a double whiskey and ginger.
Yeah.
And I had the vape in my hand too, like, holding it with it. And the girl comes by and she goes, "Oh no, what is that in your hand?" And I go, "It's a cup." She's like, no. She's like, "Are you serious right now?" I'm like, "What?" She's like, "Give me that." And I was like, "The cup?" She's like, "No, give me that." And she's like, "Are you kidding me right now?" I was like, "What?" I was just holding it. And she's like, "No, you're just like everybody else." And she got all pissed off. And then she walks up to the front and she gets back up. There's another girl with an iPad. She goes, "What's your name? Where are you sitting?" I'm like, "Christopher, seat 23. Figure it out."
Oh, okay.
And she's like, I was like, "What are you talking about?" I was like, "Did you see me hitting it?" I'm like, "Did you see me using it?" I was like, "I was holding it in my hand." I was like, she's like, I'm just flabbergasted at my response.
Yeah.
And then they end up coming back and they gave me like a referral type shit, dude. It was like
they sent you to the office.
A yellow piece of paper saying you did something wrong on the flight, which is either bringing a firearm, smoking, or like just causing a ruckus. I don't know which one I did. And then at that point, I landed. I texted you. I was like, dude, I might have trouble with the fuzz right now, bro. I was expecting my thoughts were, oh damn, now I gotta have a whole group of cops when I get off this plane.
Yeah.
Probably gonna get yelled at. I'm probably having to like defend myself. Be like, well, did she see me hitting it? You know, I was thinking of all these scenarios.
Yeah.
But I just got off the plane and walked off, dude. It was fine. I just got referral, bro.
Yeah, you got her. They were like, have your parents sign this.
Dude, yeah. But I have the same. There's a JetBlue flight. I have a JetBlue flight back, so I'm kind of waiting for the smoke when I get back to LaGuardia.
It's the most legroom in coach.
Yeah. I could have used more.
Oh my God, I got fucked recently on a Spirit flight. I'm never flying Spirit again.
Dude, you say that until a $40 flight is looking at you in the face, and you're like, damn.
I know, dude. Well,
I think I could hold it down for 3 hours.
I copped a seat right behind the first class, the big seats. Right?
Oh, and those don't go back, huh? Or they go back too much.
Well, not only that, but they got like because of the big seats. The big seats don't have tray tables on the back of them. So the tray tables have to be here.
No.
And so they were like, I was completely smushed between the tray tables on each side. Like, I like to spread my legs out. There was no leg spread possible. I was just like this for the entire flight.
Like, you got to go pee or something the whole time? You're just crossing your legs?
And you know, like, whenever you have a shitty seat on a flight, you're kind of like waiting for everyone to sit, but you're scoping out the open seats to ask, can I just move there? It was a full flight. And I just had to accept that I was going to be so uncomfortable.
See, I assert middle seat dominance when I go there. I spread out off rip. I take both armrests, I spread out, I assert my area.
Such an asshole.
Dude, I'm big, man. I don't know what to tell you.
Why do you pick middle then?
I don't pick middle. I always forget to check into my flights until I'm on the way to the airport. I'm like, oh, fuck, I never checked in yesterday.
Yeah.
And the only seat is either the $40 one up front.
Yep.
Which I ain't paying for that on the $40 flight.
Nah, that's twice the flight.
Or you get the free middle seat and you hope there's some room where there's never any room.
No.
But yeah, I assert the dominance, dude. You gotta hold that shit down.
That's crazy. I need an aisle. I'm an aisle guy. I don't get the people that like the window. I mean, nobody likes the middle.
That sucks, dude. I like middle over aisle.
No, you're crazy. Because aisle, you can stick your leg out a little bit.
And I get clipped by every fucking person walking around. You know, I got a couple bruises from the snack cart. Look how I'm sitting, bro. This is no aisle seat. It's a middle seat kind of stance, you know?
I would hate to sit next to you.
Yeah.
In the middle. That spread out.
I'm spilling Pepsi on my lap.
Yeah.
I'm smoking the vape, and I'm stirring my middle seat.
So you are smoking your vape.
Dude, I was smoking the vape. She didn't see me smoking the vape. What proof can you hold, bro?
What's your move?
Court.
What's your move? Are you trying to zero it out, or are you putting it in your shirt? Like, or you're blowing that shit straight up into the...
All three, honestly. The worst thing you could do is go to the bathroom and try and hit that. Those smoke detectors are sensitive.
That's what Corbin said he was doing on his flight.
Dude.
But he was trying to zero it out, but he just kept having, like, his lungs would collapse every time. He's like...
Yeah, no.
Fucking...
I mean, the best is when it's a night flight and they turn the lights off, so, like, you're low-key about it, you know?
And sometimes on those nights, they have their own little smoke that they're pouring out into the... You know what I'm talking about? Yeah. I like that. It's kind of... I feel like I'm in, like, a fancy club.
I feel like I'm in, like, the line at Disney World and they missed you because it's too hot, you know?
100%. It's
but like... you don't know what kind of... I feel like it's different air.
It is. It's cleaner, apparently.
Compared to New York, yeah, I bet, man. You're getting smog. You're secondhand smoke walking around.
It's true. And that's the thing. You know, secondhand smoke is worse for you.
I firsthand smoke. I already know.
That's why I'm like, that's why I firsthand. I'm like, I'm gonna be safe.
If I'm gonna get it regardless, I might as well get it first.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, you know what's really sick? Cigs inside. When I get to smoke a cig inside. Which, like, I'm all for bringing back cigarettes on the airplane. I wouldn't have gotten a referral if that was the case.
No, for sure.
You would have been smoking section in the back with the bad kids.
You would have been student of the month.
I would have made honor roll there.
Yeah, for sure. You would have got an ice cream party.
I got airline referral. Last time I was here, I got a ticket for topping the train, the turnstile.
Yep.
I was with my friend. He's 6'7", huge.
Wow.
Right. So he don't pay for the train. He just takes a nice little big step. Got room to go, dude. Me, I gotta do a little like jump hop.
Yeah.
I'm tall enough. But what I didn't do is lift up my pants, to fix my snag. And it was at Union Square, and it was pretty busy there. I saw the cops. They weren't looking at me. But when I went to go hop over, my pants were high enough, and I clipped my foot, made a noise.
Yeah.
And they're looking for that. And I was like, fuck, dude. And I tried to play a cool walk by them. They got me. And, I still haven't paid that ticket, so I probably have a warrant out here.
Nah, you're good. They probably just forgave it.
I got a couple letters in the mail. It went up to like $80 to $140. Said, find me, send collections after my ass.
Yeah, for sure. The most embarrassing thing is when you're hopping the turnstile and that if the back leg clips and then the whole thing rolls over and then you're just still back there somehow.
Yeah, no.
That is so embarrassing.
The best move is the little two-hand skip to my loo jump that you do. But
for sure.
I'm tall enough I could just kind of do a little. It's like hopping a chain link fence almost.
There was one time because sometimes I have through work I have an unlimited swipe card. And
no way, they give you that?
Yeah, bro.
I didn't get that when I worked at Trader Joe's.
Well, I mean, I don't know. Maybe they weren't offering it yet. I got an unlimited swipe card, but sometimes it just doesn't work. Like I'll swipe a million times, and it'll be like, "Please swipe again," and then eventually, after doing it a million times, it'll just go, "You've already swiped here." You know that move,
dude?
And I'm like, "Oh, what the fuck?" So like, there were these ladies that were past the turnstile already. I'm like, "Can you open the door for me? My card's not working," and they're just like. Looking at me and they're like, oh, and they go back to like talking to each other like they're acting like they couldn't speak English. That's how it felt. And I was like, all right, so I hopped it and then I was with them and I'm like, well, now I'm here, so
you're stuck.
Thanks for the help.
Yeah,
you guys suck.
I feel like a trained savant sometimes. I'll open the door for people.
Yeah.
The best is when some guy's trying to sell swipes. I get the hustle. I get it.
Yeah.
I think maybe he works at Trader Joe's. He got the unlimited card, so he just be swiping.
No, that's the thing about the unlimited.
They raised the price. I used to be $275. Now it's $290. The extra fucking 3 nickels is kind of taxing.
They are. Have you encountered like the new anti-hop technology?
Wait, no. What's that?
It's now they raised the like part where you like place your hands up. They raised it to be like this tall and they made it sharp up there. So if you try to grab it, like it like digs into your hands. But the
it's like the pigeon stoppers on the windows and shit.
That's how they view us, dude.
I guess the worst is the little the revolving door entrance.
Oh yeah,
those you can't do anything about.
And I've seen people. Well, I've seen videos of people like stuffing themselves in behind somebody that swiped in. That would give me. I would freak the fuck out.
I've doubled up.
with a consenting person though, or have you hopped in with a random?
No, it's always consent. You gotta have consent.
It's key.
I got a ticket for doubling up one time, and he tried to give us both a ticket, and I said technically I paid for one person.
Yep.
And the girl was visiting from out of town, so I took the ticket. But
like a gentleman.
Yeah, but I made her buy drinks after.
That's okay. There you go. And
then we're back to ticket somehow.
We're back to square one.
Broke driving artists, dude.
No, that's yeah, I don't know. I had this, I'm in I'm really trying to get healthy right now because I had a as like a fat guy, you can only get away with like, or not get away, but people judge you differently, obviously. I had this happen to me yesterday and I was like I need to change my life because I was waiting for my friend and they were like running behind and there was an open bench, so I like sat down on the bench while I was waiting for them, and then like 2 seconds after I'm sitting down, this guy's walking by. He goes, "What happened, Poppy? You get tired?"
No.
I was like, because I'm sitting on the bench. I was like, I'm waiting.
You're looking fat, dude. People don't sit on benches, dude.
These are for you guys.
Whoa.
It's just like, I know you've sat on a bench before, sir.
Dude, no. He sounds like an honest guy.
He was, I mean.
He clearly was.
And then he just walked into it. He lived right there. I was like, I'm not going to do anything, but I should.
That's his bench, bro. That's why he was pissed.
That's for sure. I'm gonna let it slide with you. I think you're in trouble.
Luckily, you didn't have a juice, or else you would have gotten fucked with.
This guy's got. It's so funny. You with the iPhones with what? This guy's got a fucking juice.
Dude, like juice is expensive.
Yeah.
Like I got $1,000 juice in my hand.
Papaya dog, notoriously cheap.
I think juices are just got gentrified throughout these boroughs. So
This
they look at it like
especially.
it's like I got like $10 Starbucks in my hand.
Mm-hmm.
Papaya juice is cheap, bro. It's like $3.50.
I know. Notoriously
Papaya
cheap.
dog. I mean, papaya juice and papaya dog.
Papaya
I think they closed down though. The one in East Village. I don't know. It was right there by the train.
Yeah, I don't know. I was trying to think of where it is because I know you got that Empanada Mama.
Yeah,
right over
classic.
there. And then it was like across the street, right, from that?
It was over by First Ave stop. It was right across the street.
But closer to Avenue A or actually First Avenue?
I think Avenue A, maybe. I forget the avenue.
Yeah, I don't think it's there then.
I worked at the Murray Hill Trader Joe's, 33rd and 3rd.
Yep.
Yeah, I was sick. It was during the pandemic. I was on unemployment like everybody else is, you know. And I just got bored, bro. I was like, I need some substance. And both my roommates were on unemployment. We're all just playing video games and jerking off half the time. So, not with each other. I mean, the video games, yeah. But.
Yeah, for sure. One of them. Yeah.
So I went on Indeed, and they were hiring at Trader Joe's for an artist and a graphic designer. So I was like, I'll just check that out. And I go there. And I don't know if it's still like this. Is there still lines outside Trader Joe's all the time? Like people waiting to get in?
Like in the morning? Like
I mean, like
any
time. Yeah.
Oh, not at my Trader Joe's.
I guess it was because during COVID they had to have count the people that are in the side. And shit.
Yeah.
There's a giant line outside. I'm like almost late for the interview. I go up to the little line leader up at the front. I'm like, yo, I got an interview. He's like, oh, you're about to interview? Let me tell you exactly what to say. Oh, and he gave me all the questions they're gonna ask, so I was ready to go. Like, what's your favorite thing from Trader Joe's? Like, what do you? And he gave me the answers. I was like, fucking.
He's like, your favorite thing is the.
Yeah, he told me. I was like, yes, sir. Yes, sir. So I got the gig, and it was sick. I worked there for like almost a year.
Our department is a sweet gig.
What department do you work?
I'm just I'm just everywhere.
You just crew.
I'm just crew.
I was just crew too.
That's because like I'm always jealous of the art guys because they have like 2 hours of regular work. We'll do like an hour of register, an hour of product, and then for like 6 hours they're just back there drawing.
Dude,
and they're like always they're playing music and laughing back there and vibing. They're on their phones and like fucking scrolling. I was like, dude.
Bro. So my first hour would be on register. And then I had a 4 or 5 hour block of just doing graffiti letters and writing like avocados $4.99. It was giant. Like,
perfecting your hand style.
Yeah, well, you had to take a test to do the art. So for the first month, I was like on trial, you know, like they tested me out, and then I had to learn the font, and then you have to take a test on the font. And once you're in, dude. You get in the 4 hour block, and then I was cheese department. That was my.
Oh, that was your specialty.
Yeah.
Were you writing the order, or you were just always working?
I was just helping, dude.
Okay.
I didn't have to do much. It was pretty sick, but yeah, I held down the cheese department for a minute, and then my day was over, bro. It was pretty sick. I would go. Register was sick at the time. I told you my move. You know that I do.
Oh yeah, you're because you got multiple numbers working Trader Joe's.
Dude, I was living up Trader Joe's boy.
Yeah,
that was my shit. But so my move was, you know, you're ringing people up, and I'd wait for a cute girl to bring flowers. If they had flowers and I saw them in line, paddle go up immediately, bro, ready to go. Bring her over, and the flowers would be the last thing I would go to ring up. So we'd just be chatting, whatever, and then I grab the flowers. I'm like, oh, who are these for? And they're like, oh, they're for me. I'm like, well, today they're on me, and I would just not ring them up and put them in. And they would get wooed.
What's kind of reaction are you getting from that?
Oh my god! Like, dude, you just got some girl flowers.
Yeah, for sure.
I didn't know if they had a boyfriend or not.
Yeah,
but I hooked up with a couple customers for sure. I was dating some girl for a couple months. I didn't do the flower trick on her. We were just talking, and then the next day she came back and asked my manager for my number.
I remember that. that story.
Yeah.
I thought it was a security guard.
Yeah, so a security guard. Then my manager told me next day, he said, yo, guess what? This girl came in yesterday and asked for your number. And if you had a girlfriend, I said, what'd you say? He's like, I don't know. I was like, what the fuck? And then the security guard ended up giving me her number, bro. She left her number to the security guard. I was like, no way.
She's like, I think you'll keep this secure.
And I went on vacation right before that. So I didn't get her number for like 2 weeks. I think she thought I blew her off. And then I texted her. I said, yo, this is a Trader Joe's boy. Which one are you?
Which of the many?
And yeah, we went on a couple dates and we were seeing each other for a little bit. She was cool. She was an actress, lived in Soho. Had a nice apartment.
Yeah.
Compared to my Bushwick ass, dude.
Yeah.
I had a closet. I had a railroad room.
Oh, that sucks. Where were you in the were you at the back?
No, I was like the hallway part, bro. My room went to like the living room hallway and then to my roommate's room. So for him to use the bathroom, he'd either have to go through the main hallway, like where the staircase is, like in the building.
Yeah.
Or go through my room.
Yep.
But he had the room before me, and he went to the bigger room. So he knew the pain in the ass it was when, like, someone's trying to just go to your room 4 a.m. to go to take a piss.
Yeah.
So he would go in the hallway and go around me. But, yeah, it was he definitely heard some stuff throughout the years. I heard some stuff, too.
Yeah, give him credit where credit's due.
Yeah, dude. He's got, my bad.
That's so we have Trader Joe's. There's many a job under Kpasa's belt.
Yeah, I'm a jack of all trades.
And which that's not so amazing. What is so amazing is the way you treat your job.
I call myself personality hire.
That's yes.
I kind of just raise morale when I go in there, and I check the vibes. I'll check the vibe meter, see if everyone's cool.
But you raise the vibes until you're done with the job.
Yeah,
then
no.
it's a hellscape.
I've had a couple gigs where it just, I quit and I put my 2 weeks in, but those 2 weeks are like fucking feral time, bro.
Wasn't there? Because I have a few stories that you've told over the years that come to mind. Isn't one of them? One of them wasn't it that like you were like some guy like. Not you got fired, but then he asked for you to come back, and you're like, you had demands, like you were like, I want $700.
Oh yeah. They wanted me to finish out the week, and do one more shift. And I was at a restaurant, this Italian restaurant. I was like, all right, but I want first cut, and I want a ribeye dinner, and I want an extra $50.
just
demands. I was just throwing things at the wall, see if they stuck. He said sure, so I got my ribeye. I got first cut. I didn't do roll-ups that night. I got in this huge argument with the girl, the shift leader girl.
Yeah.
I said, guess what? I'm not doing roll-ups. She's like, are you kidding me? You have to do roll-ups, blah, blah, blah. I was like, what are you gonna do about it?
Fire me?
I doubled down, bro. Yeah, are you gonna fire me? I'm not supposed to work right now.
Get out of my face! I gotta eat my ribeye.
So yeah, I got my ribeye.
Everyone must have hated you that day, where you were, because like
morale was down after I left. I'll tell you that.
It's not the same since Chris left.
Yeah, no.
Because you're just eating a ribeye, getting cut. Like there was like people working doubles that day.
Dude, yeah, and there's a lot of covers at the restaurant. They would do like sometimes it'd be like 90 roll-ups. Take me like 45 minutes.
Yeah.
That day was like 40, 50. I was like, just give everyone 5 more, bro. Like, what's the big deal?
It's fine.
And then, so the funny part is I left work. I went to the bar next door, and then she shows up at the bar. I raised my glass.
Did she join in?
Tip of the hat. She just shook her head, pissed, dude.
Oh
she had to do all my
God.
roll-ups.
And you're like, hey, look, you got out too. What's the big deal? We're both drinking at the same bar.
I mean, come on, dude. But yeah, the way I've quit a couple of jobs. I had this job out here. It was right before COVID. I worked at this ramen spot over in East Village again, and it was like the reason I did well there. The reason why I got fired, I didn't get fired. I just got took off the schedule. When you go to Moe's, like when you walk in somewhere.
Yeah.
You go to Moe's and they go, "Welcome to Moe's." They
sure.
they scream it.
Yeah.
I had to do the same shit. It was a Japanese restaurant. I had to say "Irashaimase" and scream it when someone walked in. I don't even know what the fuck I'm saying. It translated.
I might say "Welcome to Moe's."
It might as well.
Japanese.
It translated to like "How are you doing?" Like welcome.
Yeah.
And I'd say it, and people were like, "What?" And look at me. I'm like, "It means hi. How are you doing?" They're like, anyway, what can I get you? So I stopped saying it, dude. It's some bullshit.
That's embarrassing as hell.
I don't know Japanese like that. I'm selling ramen, dude.
For sure. And then you seem like a try-hard.
Yeah, like I'm doing too much, man. There's no one in the store. I'm screaming at these people. They're about to walk out. So I stopped saying it. And then I went from 5 shifts a week to night shifts. He gave me 1 Tuesday morning shift. I show up, pick up my check. I said, "Yo, what's up with my schedule?" And he's like, "You want to talk about it?" He's like, "First of all, you talk way too much to the customers." That's my job, buddy.
Yeah.
He's like, "You don't say "Irashaimase."
That is a big strike against you, I will say.
Fair. And it's like, "You showed up late twice last week." I said, "That's also fair."
Yeah.
I was like, "All right, you know what?" I was like, "That's all I needed to hear." And the uniform, it was so funny. My first day, we go in. I dress up like they're like, "We're all black." I'm like, "Okay, cool." I show up there. He's like showing us around. It was me and this other girl started. Like, "All right, let's go get your uniforms." I'm expecting like a cool little shirt, you know?
Yeah.
Like ramen shirt, whatever. Bro gives me a pin, dude. A little pin with my uniform. I just stuck on right here.
Yeah.
I turned it. So I was like, "You know what?" I fucking took off my pin. I turned in my uniform. I just put it on the table. I said, "I quit."
Damn.
"Fine, get out of here." I said, "Irashaimase." Fucking walked out. And then next week it was COVID, dude. And then I was like, damn, I should have just stayed and got unemployment.
That would have been. That's very true, actually.
Yeah, I didn't. I shot myself in the foot with that one.
He must have been like, dude, because he must have been like, we should not have fired Chris. The world is going to shit.
Again, morale was down.
Yes.
For sure.
I remember because I had a big breakup right before COVID. And like as soon as it, like, big breakup, week later, COVID, I remember being like, I knew it. The world's ending.
Dude.
I
was going through a breakup right before COVID. I was funny. We're still friends, and we were talking about it a few months back, and she's like, "Remember I tried to break up with you, and you told me no?" Shit, I was like, "No, we're not breaking up." Like, she's like, "Yes, we are." I was like, "No, we're not." Double down, dude.
And then did it work?
Well, COVID hit, and then we're like, well, I guess we need a COVID buddy. And yeah, she lived with me for like 4 months after that. It ended up working out. But yeah, dude, you can't break up with me that easily.
I've heard that story before, but it's only ever been the girl saying no. I've never I've never heard it's a lot more sinister when it's the guy. Like, knowing you, I know it's could I have one?
Yeah.
I know it was chill, but it is also at the same time. If you just heard that story, it's like if she told it out of context. There's a girl. I tried to break up with a guy, and he told me no.
What?
So,
not that I wanted to break up with her, but I was like, no. I mean, you know, we're gonna get back together in like a week anyway.
One time, I accidentally did that with this same girl. When we had multiple breakups in this relationship. That's always a good sign for a relationship when you guys are breaking up and getting back together multiple times.
Yeah.
You know you guys are going to stand the test.
Swear by the third time it's going to work out.
I think we figured it out. But the first time we broke up, she was like, I had been out of town for a few days, and then I came back and I went to her house, and she was like, "Remember when I called you crying on the second day of your trip?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And she was like, I was writing a breakup letter for you. And I was like, damn. Like, shit.
So where's it at?
I know. Well, no, here's the thing. And then she goes, "Do you want to read it?" And I thought she was like telling me that she was considering breaking up with me, and then she didn't. But then she goes, "Do you want to read it?" And I'm like, no, not really. Like, not realizing she was breaking. You got
served divorce papers, dude.
That's how it was. I was like, I didn't think she was breaking up with me. I thought she was just like, you want to see what I was gonna break up with you for?
She was kidding.
No, like I just thought I don't know what I was thinking. I was like, no, not really. And then we were just laying there, and I'm just laying in the bed, and she's still like in my arms while we're laying there, and I'm thinking, I'm like, damn, like, She might break up with me soon. I didn't realize how
Not
soon.
the letter or her telling you she's gonna break up with you. That's when it hits you. She's like, "Am I good?"
I was like, well,
The signs aren't there.
it was. I was like, she literally was like, "Do you want to read this letter of me break up with you?" And I was like, I'm getting a bad feeling about this.
I hope I'm not getting broken up with right now.
And then we were just laying there, and she was like, I really think you should read the letter. And I'm like, okay. And then I'm reading, and I literally got like a page in. I was like, wait, are you breaking up with me right now?
It's
Like
a novel, dude.
And she was like,
I thought it'd be funny if it was a folded piece of paper and you get it. It just says "We're done." Like,
I spent 6 hours in a Starbucks working on this.
just graffiti letters.
Dude, she went to the Starbucks in Palm Beach Island. Like, I was like, why did you fucking treat yourself to this?
Everything was on a nice date.
You had a nice day. You made a day of it. And then I ran out of there crying. Like, and she had like a big tough dad, and he was like, David, I'm like, get out of my way.
Oh my god,
it was so embarrassing.
Dude. I broke up with this girl in high school one time. It was I broke up with her after we had sex, dude. Actually, it wasn't that cool, but I think I had the post-nut clarity. I was like, this isn't it.
This isn't gonna work.
Then we got in this big fight. We were like 16 or 17 at the time, and then I go to storm out of there, and her dad's in the living room eating a sandwich. He's like, "What's up?" And I was like, I love your daughter, but I can't do this anymore. Sorry. He's like, and I was about to just walk. I didn't have a skateboard. I didn't have any wheels. I was about to just walk off in the distance. He's like, "You want to ride?" So he gave me a ride. So the awkward ass car ride was like, "Well, I hope you do good in life."
That's what he said. He wasn't like, so what's up? Like,
he understood.
Yeah. He's like, I would not date her.
I would not date my daughter.
I'm surprised you lasted this long, my man.
Yeah, he was chill about it. He gave me a ride.
Have you ever had a bad like dad experience with a girl you've been seeing? Like a dad get in your face or get upset with you, or?
Nah, dude, they don't want the smoke.
That's true. Have you ever seen the video of when Blueface is like? Do you know Blueface, the rapper?
Yeah.
But at first I said it like he's one of our buddies.
You know Hector? He goes by Blueface.
Did Blueface ever tell you about? No, there's a video of Blueface when he's with his girl Krishan. You know Krishan?
Krayshawn or
no?
Krishan?
Her name's Krishan.
I haven't heard of her. To be honest, I've heard of Blueface.
Well, he broke up with her, or not broke up with her. Like, I forget what happened.
He gave her a letter
that he wrote in the fancy Starbucks. He broke up with her, and then her dad was like there, and he was like, "Man, you got to treat my daughter right, whatever, yada yada." And then Blueface knocked out her dad.
Oh, dude, that's
insult to injury. We're not together anymore, and your dad is no more.
That's out of my character. Yeah, good luck with that broken nose, Dad.
He's like, yeah, I do what I want. I actually think he's cool.
Blueface or her dad?
Blueface.
I think her dad's kind of cool too.
Getting knocked out. Daughter that's what would happen to me.
He stood on business on that one.
He did.
Damn, no, I've never gotten into it with a parent like that. I'm pretty good with parents. I think I'm the guy you take home, and they're like, "Really him?" but I'm nice, you know.
But you're a charming individual.
Yeah, like I almost fucked a grandma at the airport.
It's true. You charmed a British grandma at the airport.
Dude, she was like, you know, at Wolf of Wall Street, you know, Margot Robbie's like grandma, the one he like launders money through.
Yeah,
it was giving that vibe. It was giving classy UK. They're going on a wine tour to France. I said, I'm just going to New York
to do a DJ set.
She was going to New York with me. There was a connecting flight, but
she was on the same flight.
She was next to me. She would have fucking held me down. She would have backed me up on my vapes.
He was not hitting that.
Yeah, it's mine.
You hussy.
Yeah, no.
Christopher would never do something like that.
Yeah, she would have gotten me napkins for my Pepsi spill.
And she would have wiped it.
Dude, again, water hose would have been. I would have been half masked the whole time. I don't think there's I've always wanted to fuck on an airplane, but I'm too tall for that, dude. Sometimes I'm too big for my own good.
Yeah.
I spill a lot of things.
That's the thing. Everyone wants to be tall till it's time to get on the airplane.
Yeah, and I get abused for my height. I'll be at the grocery store, and I'll be looking at like the soups, you know, like or like some random the spices, and I'll have someone tap me on the shoulder like, "Can you grab that for me?" I don't work here.
Yeah.
I work register and I fucking do art, bro. I don't work here.
I work at a different grocery store.
Yeah, I guess they caught the vibe. But yeah, no, and reaching things for people sometimes gets annoying. Walking on the streets of New York is annoying too because a lot of the trees are like low hanging.
Yeah.
So I'm just like getting smacked in the face sometimes, which is never a cool look, dude. If you have to duck like this to just walk, and there's like a group of people walking by, you're just looking fucking crazy.
Yeah. Yes.
Or you just get hit in the face and you're like, damn, that guy got smoked.
Or you could, you just slowly walk through it all confidently.
I just limbo backwards over this shrub. Yeah, or like planes suck. I mean, I could talk about my first world problems about being tall, but I think everyone under 6 feet would not enjoy that.
It's just so annoying getting pussy all the time.
Dude, it's so annoying. And a lot of girls, I always forget. They're like, he just needs to be tall. I'm like, really?
There's at my job. There's 5 different Davids.
Oh, my
3
God.
of them are David M's, and there's 2 with the middle initial
No one goes
J.
by Dave?
There's a Dave.
he said, don't count me in that category.
I think he heard there's 5.
They only hire Davids over there?
We should start a union. The Davids.
You guys could. You start your own department, bro. You start your basketball team with that.
It's well, that's the thing. One of the Davids he's like 6'6", and he's so tall.
So tall, David.
This is where I was going with this. They say like I have an enemy at Trader Joe's. She's a mean older black lady that just like hates me. She hates my guts, and I try everything to like be nice to her, and it doesn't work. She just something.
You gotta give her the other energy.
I did start to do that, and one time I confronted her, and she was really scared. And have you seen that video of the guy in the police interrogation, and they tell him, well, you're gonna get hit with a felony, and he's like, felony, and then he just starts farting, like it's like, no. And the cops are like, damn, man.
Actually, it's a misdemeanor now. No, I haven't seen that on World Star. Well,
I confronted her, and she was confronting me back, and the whole time I was farting. I could not control it. But, like, we both were acting like it wasn't happening. I'm like, yeah.
That's a passive-aggressive move, bro. I used to crop those people at the restaurant all the time.
That is fun.
So you want to undertip me? Watch this.
Yes, that is satisfying.
Nah. I try not to fart in public.
But anyway, when she loves the other David, and she shouts him out, and she goes, hey, shout out to tall David. And then everyone looks at me like, what does that make you?
There you go. This size you up.
It's not you.
What's your name there?
To my face, it's just David. I don't want to know what it is behind my back, which David I am, but I have a pretty good feeling I know what it is.
Damn, dude. No, I'm Chris with a K, so that used to be my move, bro. I introduce myself to girls because a name like, no offense, David or Chris or Brian or like any of those classic names.
Yeah.
They'll forget. I forget names. You'll tell me your name, and I just yeah, nice to meet you.
Mm-hmm.
I'll forget it
immediately.
But so I would go, hey, how you doing? I'm Chris with a K. And then the K throws them off. Like, oh.
Hold on, what now?
Dude's got a K. And it's more memorable, and people remember my name more.
Yeah.
And I stopped doing that because I don't need to prove myself like that. But
for sure. For sure. You stopped
you throw a
dancing.
K in there. Maybe you go David with a J. David.
David with a J. And they're like, where? I'm like, in my middle name.
David with 3 Ds. It's like Greg with 3 Gs.
Greg.
Greg.
There's a Mitch Hedberg joke where he was like, I dated a girl named Lynn with 2 N's, and now I'm dating a girl, he's like, I used to date a girl Lynn with 1 N, and now I'm dating a girl Lynn with 2 N's, and sometimes I'll fuck up and I'll call my new girlfriend by my old girlfriend's name, and she could tell because I don't say the as long.
No, yeah, you got to.
Yeah.
Lynn with two ends. She's got something to prove, dude.
Yeah.
Imagine being the parent. You're like, you know what? This needs another end.
Let's spice it up.
I asked my mom a couple years back. I said, "What's up with the K, dude? What were you thinking?" She goes, "I don't know. I was
high as fuck.
I got an epidural. I was high. I thought it'd be cool.
Yeah.
But my name is based on you being high on an epidural, which is pretty telling of where I was going.
It's apropos.
Yeah, she projected on that one.
And now she's got a DJ son named Chris.
Yeah, she's sick. She's always been supportive, and now like I'm actually like getting booked for shows and stuff. Like, oh, he wasn't kidding. He's actually doing it.
No, that my parents still don't believe I'm a comedian.
Like, sure, buddy, tell your jokes over there.
They're cool. Yeah, how's Trader Joe's?
There's a career in management over there. You should really look into.
No, it's like the amount of my mom gives me comedy advice. But her comedy advice, do you know Sebastian Maniscalco?
Yeah.
She loves him, and she just will be like, you need to be more like Sebastian. That's her advice.
I've never heard that sentence in my life.
Well, you
one of my good friends is named Sebastian. We call him Seabass or Sebi.
Do you remember that little kid from the skate park named Sebi?
Yeah, he was good.
He was.
I don't know what happened to him.
There's always little kids that you're like, they like you because you're older, but when you're my age, you're gonna be a lot
little
cooler.
bro. Yeah, they call me Unk.
Oh my God, the amount of people. That's the thing. I'm an old man at Trader Joe's.
Oh really?
Because obviously there are older people than me there, but there's so many people that are like fresh out of high school that work there. They're like
they all go to Parsons and New College and they're trying to make it.
And they're like, they're like, when were you born? I'm like 19. They're like, 19? What?
This dude was born before 9/11. What?
Yo, this dude was born in the 20th century.
Yeah, I check IDs sometimes because, just for the cameras, I don't give a shit. You can show me a fucking fake-ass Maryland ID and I'll give you a fucking beer, but allegedly, first of all. But I see the date 2003 now. Now it's 2004.
Yep.
04, I was watching the Red Sox win the World Series, dude. I remember, like, what the fuck were you doing in 04? Getting born?
That's crazy. That's the thing, because I check IDs too, but I don't even know what year is
I just
good.
glance, dude. If it's got a picture on there and you're a girl and it's a girl, you're fine with me, dude.
I see if it's 2000. I know I'm like 2011. They're probably too young. Anything other than that, I don't know what's going on. I can't do the math.
That's it. Once the IDs start looking like 2010s, I'm like, dude, what the fuck?
Yeah,
2010 would be crazy. Dude? Remember what I was thinking about the other day? First time you smoked weed was with me.
Yeah. Yep.
I remember I used to smoke weed before school all the time. And I think you're like, dude, I want to try weed. And I was like, let's do it.
You were my Sherpa.
You're shaman, dude.
You were my shaman.
And do you remember the day it was that we did it?
Crazy hat day.
Crazy fucking hat day or Spirit Week.
Mm-hmm.
We go. I think you lied to your mom saying you're getting tutoring before school.
Yes.
There was the park next to the school.
Yep.
It has a little red bridge.
Mm-hmm.
And we smoke underneath the bridge.
Yeah.
I think that time we smoked in the bathroom.
No, yeah, we smoked in the bathroom.
And then we walk into school, and all we see is this kid with a fucking like goofy hat or like some
squid.
Oh, it's a squid hat. Yeah, he had a green squid on his hat, just chilling like he was walking through life like a normal day.
Yeah.
And you go, dude, this is what being high is like. You thought we were hallucinating. I said, damn, I don't even know anymore. And then we saw more hats, and then we realized it was Crazy Hat Day.
Yeah. It's so funny too because I was like, I didn't, when you first smoke weed, like as a kid, you honestly don't know what to expect.
You don't get high until like the third time.
I know. And okay, do you think that's a thing, or it's because you're not smoking correctly?
I don't know, man. First time I smoked weed, I smoked every kind of weed there was. There was a bong, there was a bowl, there was blunt. I didn't feel like I could get high. And I skipped school. It was on 420. The year before, I think, I introduced you to the game.
You were still learning your ways.
Yeah, and I skipped school. I go back to school, pretend I was at school all day. My mom picked me up, and she goes, "You want to go to Panera Bread?" I was like, "Fuck yeah, dude. Are you kidding me?"
I could go for a bread bowl right now.
Yeah, I'll eat fucking cafeteria food all day. And, yeah, I mean, I didn't get high till like the third time, I think. fourth time maybe. I remember we got high outside of my house, me and my buddies, and we watched Avatar, not the Last Airbender, the fucking James Cameron one.
Yeah.
3-hour movie.
Yeah. But it zips by when you're high.
But it's pretty. The graphics were great if you're high. We're like, what is this?
I remember being underwhelmed by that movie, to be honest. Like, everyone's like, this is going to be the greatest movie of... This is the new Titanic. And then I remember watching it and being like, this is just an average-ass...
This is a James Cameron movie. The new one was cool. I like that one.
I didn't even watch it.
Oh, the new one's cool. It's like... It's all underwater and stuff. They got the underwater aliens out there now.
Okay, now I might be interested.
Yeah.
Salt Life?
Yeah, they're all just surfing, bro.
Completely. There's no war anymore. They're just surfing and hooking up.
Look, the waves are looking fire today, dude.
Yo.
They got dreads in the movie, too. They probably surf.
They do. They were like, yeah.
It was sick. I read some article the other day about how there's UFOs off of Cape Canaveral underwater.
Really?
It sounded like one of those Bigfoot stories, but I was like, it could be possible.
It's true.
We only know like 10% of the ocean. Maybe, I think.
Maybe that's the thing, that aliens have been underwater this whole time.
Yeah, you ever seen the videos where they go down and like you got the crazy ass fish over there?
I know, and then it's just like, for some reason, all the scientists are wearing like gaming headsets because you just hear everyone being like, "No way, it's an Oculus," or whatever it is, you know.
It's all VR, dude. It's not even real.
I don't believe in the ocean, to be honest.
Really,
I don't think it's real.
You were a fisherman, dude. You were freshwater though.
I would
ever been on a boat? like not like that.
What is going on? You're asking me if I've ever been on a boat.
I don't know, man.
Dude, I don't know if you remember this. Jacob had his own boat in from 8th grade to sophomore year. A little like a 19-foot Proline center console, and that shit was sick. But we were it would just be me, Jacob, and Gabby, and we'd go fishing every weekend for a while, and then never once did we bring girls on the boat. That's what you're supposed to do when you're a kid with a boat.
Yeah, no.
And we didn't put it together. And we would just be on the boat and be like, bro, imagine if we had girls on here.
Imagine if we had chicks out here. Imagine that we got some 9th graders out here, dude.
No, there was no confidence amongst us, honestly, except for Gabby. Gabby had confidence, but it was faux confidence, I think, because he could have been let's text some girls.
You invite some girls, dude. Yeah, I remember when I first started getting a girlfriend and all that. It's exciting, but at 15, 16, it's where do we go?
Yeah,
someone's got a car. If not, what do? You go walk and sit in the park for a second, go make out.
That's what I miss about being a kid, is every experience is so novel and so new. Making out when you're a kid is amazing. Now, making out as an adult is it's not even enjoyable.
Nah, dude. It gets exhausting.
And it's just what are we doing? It's kind of gross.
Nah, man. I'd rather just hug sometimes.
For sure. I'd rather just have a deep ass conversation.
Yeah, I don't remember my first makeout, honestly.
You don't?
I remember it was probably around I was 13, 14. I remember seeing my first titty at school.
At school?
Yeah, at school, dude.
What happened? Where was this?
I was in math class, and I wasn't in the best math class. I'll say that. So I was with the hoodlum kids.
Yeah.
And this kid, I remember he was, I forget his name, but I remember there was the girl, Janet. She has some big titties,
Janet is a big titty name.
It's a big titty name. Remember back then, we had to wear collared shirts, but the girls would wear collared shirts all the way unbuttoned, and then the little tank top right here.
Yeah.
Just busting out, Yeah. And the kid was like, "Man, shut up, Janet. You got no titties." She said, "What?" And she just whipped that titty out.
No fucking... holy... That is a dummy.
It was my first titty I ever saw.
Wow. Was it... Did you fuck with it?
Yeah, she got big titties.
That's reverse psychology. A girl with big titties go, you don't got any titties.
Yeah.
What?
She had pretty. I mean, I don't want to talk about 7th grade titties, but for 7th grade, it was pretty big.
Some knockers.
And I was like,
no one dresses sluttier than like an 8th grade girl who like
swears she's like 25,
bro. And they were just the shortest shorts ever.
Yeah, were they fingertipped? Probably not.
No, fuck no.
Fingertip length.
When you like going like in 8th grade when there would just be like 40 kids going to the movies together.
Oh, dude, the movies were like. You wouldn't even go see a movie, but you just hang out outside.
Or if you would go, I was thinking about this later, like how pissed I would be as a person now if I went to go see a movie and there was 40 8th graders going to see that movie,
just yelling.
But the girls in 8th grade that would go to a movie on a Friday, it would be like seriously like the type of shorts where the bottom of the butt cheek is out, and like it's like no adult dresses like that. Kids always think adults dress so much sluttier than they do.
No. And then I think my first makeout was at the movies. I'll be
honest.
Really? Yeah, for sure. I remember getting a hand job at the movies one time. I was probably like 14 or 15.
That is such a kid experience. What movie?
I don't remember. It might have been the Alice in Wonderland movie. I remember seeing that at the time with the girl. Guess what? Didn't come.
No, I mean you were transfixed into the plot of Alice in Wonderland.
I remember it being really bad, and then I think that's when I realized I was like, I can just go jerk off and just fucking call it a day.
Because that was probably her first time even working that type of machinery.
Yeah, dude. Just squeezing it. Dude. She was like a fucking like a stress ball.
There was well, the first time I got a hand job, I ended up coming into my own face. Because like I was like, oh, I'm about to.
Did you know what you were doing?
I think I was just there was so much going on. There was so much going
tension built up.
And I was just like, I'm about to, and then like for some reason like I was like I'm about to finish, and you just think like I was laying down, so it was like pointing at me anyway, and I was like, I was like I'm about to finish or whatever, and like I was thinking either she would like know what to do, but she just kept going, and like that was so embarrassing. She was like, "Oh my god!"
Like, no, it's cool. It happens all the time.
It's like, don't even worry about it. Just
dude, you got some fucking
war stories,
you bro. You're hitting 3-pointers from the logo.
I could still fucking hit the ceiling.
Damn, dude.
Sometime, it's got to be a couple days.
Some torque.
I do. I got. I remember the first time I saw some titties in real life. Yeah.
How'd that go?
It was at Sunfest.
Fuck yeah.
It was during MGMT's set.
That is a good teenage angst moment.
Dude, it was
my first titty was at MGMT.
It was pretty good. It was like, ooh, girl. And I'm just like, turn around. And it was the classic girl on her boyfriend's shoulders. Yeah, with her shirt off. And she going, woo. And she had big, nice boobs. And me and Jacob was there, and I tap him on the shoulder, and we're both just fully turned around. We're not looking at the concert anymore.
No.
We're fully turned, and then she noticed us. She was like, oh, and like, she was like, oh yeah, there's children.
You can't pull your tits out and then get embarrassed that your tits are out.
Well, that's the thing, because like most people know they're like they can catch a couple glances, but they can't full perv. But 8th graders can full perv.
Yeah, you swear you got glasses on.
But even if we had glasses on, we're fully.
You're just like.
I was thinking about this because it's the summer in New York. There's like a lot of women dressed very hot. Not a lot of bras going on in this neighborhood.
No, yeah.
And I was thinking, it is like that the rule of like it's.
You want to share this last ciggy?
Yeah, where it's public. It's public. It's like where people will film somebody and they're like, this is public. It's legally I have every right. But I was thinking about like what's the looking policy, right? And I think you should get 3 glances before you're considered a perv. Okay. If you go anything more than that, you can enter perv territory. But I think it's completely normal to catch 3 quick glances.
I think the first one is like,
you put the mic by.
I think the first one is you do this, you go, then you go. And then one more like.
Yeah, you get yes.
Anything more than that, you're a fucking perv.
Exactly, but you should get 3.
I think 3 is acceptable. I'll allow 3.
Yeah. 4, yeah, you're doing too much.
Yeah, odd numbers, dude.
But it's 3 because it's like, hey, I'm never gonna see you again, and like this is really nice.
You ever? I remember I lived out here. My girlfriend at the time, her roommate was a photographer. She worked for, I think it was like the Times or like it was some big publication, but she was doing her own like art, like gallery exhibit, and she was wanting to do this series on couples. So she asked us if we could take photos naked on a rooftop. Which, you know, I'm all loosey-goosey. I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
But I remember being naked on a rooftop, getting photos taken of me, and I look off the rooftop, and there's just, like, a crowd, dude. There's a little, and, like, you know, we're on a rooftop. People can see out their window. There's in their bedroom hanging out.
Yeah.
You see fucking, you know, naked people on the roof.
Yeah.
We didn't fuck. We just took photos. And I was in a gallery with my ass out. And
really?
My pito was out.
Oh, shit.
I'm a grower, not a shower, by the way.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's better to be that, honestly.
Yeah, dude. It's too much confidence if you really got that schlong, dude.
And then, like, because most people are growers, so then if you are a shower, then it's kind of, like, probably disappointing because a girl sees it and she goes, damn, he's going to be big. And then it's like, no, that's all there is.
Nah, it's just fucking, yeah, no. I raise the flagpole when I get there.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, no, dude, you should get naked on rooftop sometime. It's very liberating.
Yeah, I don't know about if that's personally right for me. But it sounds liberating. It sounds liberating.
Yeah, dude, you're fucking 10 floors up. Or no, I think it was like it was her apartment too, bro. I was like, we're about to get fucking watched.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got into a fight with the same girl. She moved over to like Lower East Side, over by Katz, and there it's like you're in Manhattan, bro. It's like, you know, lights are on, everything. Yeah. And she would just walk around naked around her apartment with those big ass windows.
Yep.
And I'm like, dude, people are creepy. You know, there's a guy with your telescope looking at you right now.
Yeah.
And he knows what floor you live on. He knows where you live. And he's, you know, people are weird, dude. So we got in some fights about that. I was like, close the fucking window.
Oh, yeah.
She's running for a towel after we have sex. And it's like, ah. But, you know, I mean, for the most part, I don't really, you know, I got nothing to hide.
I just thought of a topic, but it's really off. It's really
Let's flip the script.
Away. Okay. Because this was thank you. This was peeving me the fuck off.
Yeah.
This is one of my big peeves. Is let's say you're out to eat, and whatever you're getting comes. Let's say it's fries.
Yeah.
And it comes with a sauce.
Okay.
If fries comes with the sauce, that should be enough sauce to do the entire thing of fries.
Yeah.
It never is.
It never is, dude.
It's like a third of what you need.
Dude, like there's a fucking ketchup ration all of a sudden.
Don't even get me started on the ketchup packets.
I'm extra sauce, extra napkins guy. I use way too many napkins, and I'm going to ask for extra sauce, and I'm probably not going to use it. But I need it.
I just want to know it's there.
I just want to know just in case, dude. I agree, dude. The worst is when there's no sauce. I got a basket of fries the other day. They just gave it to me fucking plain Jane.
What the? No.
I asked for ketchup twice. It was at a food truck.
Those people.
It was like flabbergasted. They're like, wait, really? They had to go in the back to get ketchup for the fries at the burger stand.
No one's ever asked for this.
This guy's a fucking aristocrat, dude. What the fuck? No, like and the napkins, dude. I need at least 6 napkins any meal I eat. And I'm sorry for the trees. I'm sorry. I try and recycle when I can, but I don't know. I'm not even that messy. I just don't like fucking shit all over my face for the time being. Like catch me at a barbecue spot, I'm running through a whole roll of paper towels. Yeah. At that point,
just bring me out a wet rag.
Just give me exactly. I need like 3 towels and a couple rags and.
Well, that's. I'm on a similar page to you as the napkin game, and I don't get you because sometimes you'll be eating with someone who really does just need the one napkin,
That's
and
crazy.
I don't understand it because, one napkin is enough for one wipe.
Would you just use the corner and you fold it and you use the other? Like, no, dude.
I don't understand that. I literally, like, I'll wipe my hands with a napkin, and that napkin's done. It's covered.
Dude, yeah. I'm using a napkin per bite sometimes.
Yes.
Like with a burger or like some kind of sandwich, a handheld.
And that's the thing, too, when you have the automatic paper towel dispenser, and it gives like
the
3 inch.
Shortest little guy.
I'm going at least 3 times.
You know what pisses me off, dude? I'm staying at my friend's house right now. I love her, but she got 1-ply toilet paper. Dude.
Girls love the one. Oh, never mind, actually.
They use more toilet paper than us, dude.
That's how I felt. I was living with a girl before I lived here, and we would split the toilet paper bill, but I would be like,
it's a big bill.
I was just like, I'm using it less than you.
She's like, I should really be paying quarter of this.
This is, I mean, I get like, you have to use it every time you go to the bathroom, no matter what it is. Mm-hmm. I'm using it like one every 6 bathroom trips.
Yeah, dude. No. You know what happened to me the other day, and what continues to happen to me, and I always feel like I'm in Curb Your Enthusiasm. I go to a public restroom. The urinals are all taken up, or there's a short one.
Yeah.
I'm waiting for stall. Line, will get to be my turn. Stall opens up. Go in the stall. I don't know if it was the guy before me or the guy before him, but there's pee all over the seat, right?
Yep.
And I don't want to look like I pee on the seat.
But you're also not going to clean up someone else's pee.
Sometimes I double, and then I wipe my hands real good. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But I don't want to look like the fucking guy that pees on the seat.
Yeah.
And there was one time a couple of years ago I didn't clean it up. Which, like, you dude, I won't clean up a mess, but like a little trinkle here and there, I'm like, all right, I'll go just wash my hands.
You got to protect your.
I do my due diligence as a citizen.
Yeah.
And just try and keep everything clean and kosher. But I walked out the stall. The guy next to me goes, "Really?" And I was like, "It wasn't me." Like, you know, I got to explain. But dude, in that case, you have no defense.
Yeah.
How the fuck does he know? He thinks I pee on seats and deny it. If I'm peeing on a seat, I pee on the seat.
And I'll own that shit.
I'll fucking tell you, yo, watch out! I pee on the seat.
Watch out! A friend of ours. Have you ever? Sometimes you got to do it. You got to poop at the bar.
Yeah, I've pooped at the club before.
Yeah, that's
when you got the bass rattling against the fucking the doors.
That's a nerve-wracking experience,
dude. I've pooped on acid at porta potties at a festival.
Oh, can't be good,
dude. You're just fucking in a bad trip for 5 minutes.
A porta potty's okay though, because I don't know, like the
at a festival day 3, dude. No, it's not.
Well, I just mean in terms of like the anxiety of being called out for pooping in because like
there's poop everywhere.
Yes, exactly. And a mutual friend of ours who I won't name, but Corbin was telling me about a mutual friend who pooped at the bar recently.
Yeah.
And another guy comes in the bathroom and goes, "Come on, man, flush that. You gotta flush that."
Wait, he didn't flush?
Well, no, he was like, I'm sorry. Like, he was stinking it up.
I don't need your fucking side comments. I'm trying to poop at the bar,
bro. I promise you, as soon as it hits water, it's getting flushed. But sometimes it...
I mean, it'd be pretty obnoxious not to flush. I'd rather have pee on the seat than the poop of just fucking waiting for me like a log.
And when you do see that, you're like, "Who the?" You want to go out there and be like, "Who did this?"
Claim yourself,
everybody in here, because there's no toilet paper either, so you didn't wipe,
dude. Have you ever been to like a girl's house first time and you gotta take a shit? Yeah, it sucks
for sure. You're like, I might shower.
I gotta use the bathroom. Yeah. Grab your phone. You're gonna set up shop for a second. There's one girl. She had one of those bathrooms where it was like a sliding door. Oh like
my
in her
God.
room, so I couldn't get the full privacy. And she was asleep. I had to wake up, which I usually gotta drink a coffee and like hit a cigarette before I gotta poop in the morning.
Yeah.
That one I don't know what was going on.
You were just ready.
Just woke up ready to fucking dump.
Yeah.
And I go to close the sliding door, and it's just like it just like wouldn't move. And she wakes up. She goes, Oh yeah, my door's broken. So I had to take a shit open air, 4 feet from her bed. Like first time we hooked up.
Oh shit!
I'm like, I
Was
guess
it loud?
It wasn't loud. It wasn't nice. I
That
still did my thing.
you got to do what you got to do. I mean, there's time. There's, I mean, yeah, there's times where you're like trying to be quiet, and then there's just one just slips out a fart where you're like, well, now just I'm gonna go ham.
That happened
because-
to me the other day, dude. I was just like laying in bed and just trying to clench and just like,
Mhm.
and I heard a little giggle from her. I said, shut up.
Hey, chill. Shit, man. I think we've been going for an hour. Is there any parting? Oh wait. Oh yeah. Holy shit, we've been going an hour 20. This is
No way.
This
we're
is literally
ripping?
the longest Sandwich Tuesday we've ever done.
Oh, we could do a 3-hour Avatar movie at this point, bro.
That's honestly something I always think the content I would be the most cut out to do is just the guy that's. Have you ever seen Mystery Science Theater?
No, I've heard of it though.
It's like it's where they watch bad old like 1980s science fiction movies, and it's just that it's like they play the movie and then it's just them like roasting it while it's happening.
Oh.
I think I would love doing that, but I would just want to do it for a good movie. I just want to watch a good movie and be like, that was pretty sick.
So Avatar?
Yeah. You see the new Mission Impossible yet?
No, I don't. I mean, how many missions can the guy go on?
Well, he's done.
Oh, it's
This
the
was
last
last
one.
one.
Yeah, I'm sure.
You
I'm
think-
sure, dude. Yeah, no.
It is. It's Final Reckoning.
Yeah, Final Reckoning 2 comes out. in
No,
about a year.
no. Because,
Does he die in the end?
no, he doesn't. Oh, not to spoil it. But
Whoa.
Ethan Hunt survives.
Oh, it's not Tom Cruise anymore?
No, his character's name.
Oh, his name.
He's not playing a guy named Tom Cruise.
It'd be very Tom Cruise of him if he did.
I'm Agent Tom Cruise. That would be sick, actually.
Tom Cruise is a made-up name, dude. That's not his name.
I think he's really cool, actually.
Thomas Cruise? Is that his real name?
No, I'm just saying. I think I don't know if that is his real name, but
Tom Cruise, dude.
he's awesome.
I don't know, man. He gives me the heebie-jeebies.
He's a little weird.
Weird.
He's a little
I
weird.
like Tom Cruise jumping on the couch on Oprah.
I think that was the last time he ever was himself.
Yeah.
Everything after that, he doesn't give any opinions anymore.
No,
Like,
he does his own stunts. I respect that.
I respect the fuck out of that. He like was weird on Oprah, and everyone was like, "What?" And then like it took him a few years to get his career back, and then after that, people are like, "What do you think is like happening in Gaza?" And he's like, "Man, I love popcorn." Yeah.
He can say whatever he wants. Be like, all right, Tom,
Yeah.
back to you,
Yeah. I just hope they get popcorn.
dude. I say it all the time. I fuck with Oprah because she didn't get famous until she was like 40 or something. So I'm like,
There's a lot
I got some time left before I need a talk show and stuff.
for sure. There's a lot of goats. I mean, Louis C.K.
Yeah, I don't think the age requirement that you put in your head really matters at this point.
Well, because when you're young, like when you're younger, obviously we're still young, right? Anyone who's like in their 30s or 40s are gonna cringe at people who are still in their 20s being like, we're not young anymore. But I don't really feel young anymore, and
No.
but when you're younger, the idea of 30s, the idea of 40s.
Oh, it's the cutoff, dude.
Well, they seem so. Yeah. First of all, you go, how do you not have a family and whatever? You're a loser if you haven't achieved that by then. And then, but now, like, yeah, they seem just so like far away. And now it's like, oh, that doesn't like if you like are if you're like really whatever successful by like 35, 40, like I'm like that's a pretty good life. You got
Pretty
some good
chill,
shit to
dude.
happen after that. I don't know.
Yeah, no, I
actually think I'm gonna thrive in my 30s.
yeah, I feel like a nice red wine. I feel like I need to age a little bit more before I hit the peak. But yeah, no, when you take that little clock out of your head, I mean, you can do whatever. I mean, we're at the age where like half of our friends are getting married, having kids. I'm like, I don't even know what I'm doing tomorrow.
Bro.
Like,
Yeah,
ask me what I'm doing in 5 years.
and it's funny because do you kind of feel like I kind of feel bad for them sometimes, but it's like I gotta acknowledge they're doing what they want and they're like really happy or whatever. But to me, I'm like, you gave up,
dude. Yeah, no.
It's kinda how
The
it
dream's
feels.
gone, man. Once you have a kid, you're just hoping they're good at soccer or fucking basketball at that point.
I think I would like train my kid from the moment he was born to be like an NFL kicker.
Oh, that's the best job, dude.
It's easy, and it really feels like and every NFL kicker you heard of, they're like, yeah, I like played soccer, and then in college they were like, you should kick this ball, and then like they got really good at it. I'm like, what happens if you trained a kid since he was like 4?
He's just a natural kicker.
He's got to be an NFL kicker.
Oh, can I say something?
Yeah.
I'm still down to talk. I just have to pee really bad.
Oh, let's end it, dude. Well, let's
How
How do you want to end it? Do you want to? Late. We've been ending by singing a song.
We could sing a song. What do you want to sing?
We could sing.
You all right?
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah. You lead.
Oh, I forgot the. No, I forgot the lyrics.
Oh.
Actually,
That's the
I'm gonna
important.
fuck up the lyrics first, bro.
That is the important part of what we're doing because we don't have any instruments.
Just a small town girl.
Living in a lonely world.
She took the L train going anywhere. Just
a city boy. Born and raised in South Detroit.
Detroit.
I think so.
He took the midnight train going anywhere.
Boom.
Dude, don't stop believing.
That's the message that's the name of the episode. Don't stop believing.
Don't stop believing.
You're going to have to tune in until the very end to understand why we call it that. Literally the last few seconds.
I won't. I promise I won't.
All right, guys. You've been real. You've been fun. Chris, thanks for coming on.
Thanks for having me, dude. This is sick.
Peace.